Hello and welcome to TechLink's Client Portal training series. Today we'll be talking about browsing and editing sites, browsing work orders, in addition to viewing the layout of a work order. So browsing and editing sites. When you land on the dashboard, on the left-hand side, you'll see the main menu. You'll hover over Sites and we'll select Browse Sites. So this is going to list out all of the locations that TechLink has visited for your company, or all the locations that you've entered into the portal for us to create work orders off of. There's many different ways to sort. It's very similar to Excel. You can sort simply by clicking the company name. You can sort by site ID. You can also filter. So there's lots of different ways to pull up the information. If you want to view some more specifics on a particular location, you can drill into that location and you'll see we have the site name, site ID, the address we have entered, the site phone number, in addition to who the main contacts are at that particular location. The other thing you'll notice is site notes. These are some specific notes that we can add to a particular location when creating that location, and a lot of times are used as instructions for the technician, maybe on where they need to park or how they can access the building. Maybe there's some specifics as far as SSID and password information for particular devices on site. But these site notes will be applied to every work order created underneath that particular location within our system. The other thing you'll notice here is we list out all of the work orders that we've built under this particular location in our portal. So it's a nice, easy snapshot of all the work orders that we've built for your particular site. If you want to edit this site information, you simply come up here, click Edit Site, and then make any of the changes that you wish to that particular location. All right, so we'll go back to the dashboard. The next thing we'll show is browsing work orders. So on the left-hand main menu, you hover over work orders, you say browse work orders, and this is going to list all of the work orders that we've created for your company within our system. Again, you can sort by simply clicking on the header, similar to Excel. You can also click the filter to enter in a particular name in order to filter all of the locations for that particular name. Again, if you want to access one of these particular work orders, you could simply drill into this work order, double click here, and it will bring up that particular work order that you've selected. If you wish to filter by projects that you've created within our system, you can simply click Limit to Project and select a project, and it will list all of the work orders for that particular project within our system. All right, so now let's view a work order, and we'll talk about the actual layout of that particular work order. So again, we're back at the dashboard. We're going to look at the jobs that we have scheduled for today, and we're going to drill into this work order 60500. All right. So this is the standard layout of our work orders. It is in one scrolling screen. In the upper left-hand corner, we have some general information about this work order. So this is TechLink's work order number, your PO number. If you have a specific client reference number that you want to add, maybe you have an internal work order that you want to have added to this particular work order, in addition to have it show up on invoices, you can add it as the client reference number. The date that the work order was input into our system, what project it falls under, insured value. This is generally the value of the equipment that TechLink is installing for you. A short summary, the status of this particular work order. So in this case, we actually have a technician on site. And so that technician, the status of this work order is tech on site. The work order that's on site, or the technician that's on site, is Abe Lincoln, and we show Abe Lincoln's phone number. In the upper right-hand corner is going to be general site information for this particular work order. So the location that the technician needs to arrive for the installation, in addition to those primary contact and any secondary contact information that's been entered into that site. Scrolling down, we have tracking information, so you do have the ability to add specific tracking information on equipment that's going to be sent to a site. So this layout here is going to show you the particular status. So in this example, all of the items have been delivered to the location. Service date, this is the date and time that the technician is scheduled to be on site. Site notes, we reviewed that just a couple minutes ago when we were browsing sites. This is generally, it can be some password information, it can be specific information for the technician on how to access the building, whatever you want to add there. And again, any notes that are added to that site will get applied to all work orders built for that particular location. Work order description, this is the kind of the meat of the work order. So this is all the specifics the technician needs to know on what they'll be doing at that location that particular day. So we generally have some general contact information, special tools that will be required, some important reminders, and then a step-by-step instructions for that technician in order to do the job. The tasks section, this is where we're laying out how much TechLink is charging your company for this particular job. Required closeout paperwork, serves two purposes. Any instructions, installation instructions, service instructions the technician needs, in addition to any forms the technician needs to fill out, they're going to be in this required closeout paperwork section. TechLink and client-only documents, if there's some documents that we don't want to share with the technician, we just want to share with between TechLink and yourselves, we can add them into this section particular to this work order. And then the notes section. The notes section serves two purposes. It's a timestamp of all of the major milestones that are hit in the life cycle of a work order, in addition to any notes that TechLink adds to the work order for you guys to see. So TechLink can add a note to a work order. You'll see it here in this notes section. As a client, you can also come in and add a particular note. That's applicable to this work order. Once that note is added, the team that's handling your account will get a high priority notification indicating that you've added a note to this work order, and it'll prompt them to drill into the work order and review the note and respond accordingly. So again, two purposes. It's to share information back and forth in addition to those timestamps of milestones that are hit in the life cycle of the work order. We'll scroll past notes here. Completed closeout paperwork, so any of those forms that the technician may have filled out, once they upload those forms to the work order, they'll be available here in the completed closeout paperwork section. Closeout questionnaire. So these are questions that are custom built for you. When we onboard you as a new client, we'll figure out what questions you want us to ask the technician when the technician calls TechLink and says, hey, I'm done here. These are questions that we'll ask the technician to ensure that the job is complete and ready for that technician to leave. Again, these are all custom. We'll create these with you when we onboard you as a client. And then photographs. So any photographs that the technician takes while on site, they'll immediately be available to you as a client here at the bottom of the work order. If you have our mobile app, they're also immediately available to you on the mobile app within this particular work order. And those fall at the very bottom of the work order here. All right, we'll go back to the dashboard. So again, today we covered browsing and editing sites, which can be accessed from the main menu here, browsing work orders, which also can be accessed from the main menu, in addition to viewing the layout of a particular work order. So simply drilling into a work order and viewing that entire layout. If you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you.